Today we're asking that very important question. Am I a Division I football player? I'm going to give you 3 questions you need to ask yourself if you're trying to pursue a Division I scholarship. Coming up today on the Gridiron Studs Recruiting Show. Hey, I'm talking to you. Recruiting advice for everyone. It's the Gridiron Studs Show. Well, everyone wants to go D1, right? Well, today we're going to ask 3 very important questions to determine if you are, in fact, a Division I football player. And these things are important because part of the biggest things in the college football recruiting game is finding the proper fit for you. Sure, everyone would love to go Division I, but the truth of the matter is you just can't fit all those numbers. There are a million high school football players every year. Did you know that? A million, at least. And so we can't get a million guys into Division I football, even if you take a quarter of those numbers, which would probably account for the senior class. They're not going to be 250,000 Division I football scholarships handed out. That's just the truth. Everyone wants to go D1. Everyone's not going to fit. On top of that, some folks are going to be offered Division I scholarships. Should they take it? The answer probably for everyone out there is yes. But in fact, it might not be the case. You might want to find yourself a better fit, and it might not be a Division I. So we're going to ask these 3 questions today. And while they're not the end all and be all, and some people can overcome the odds, where I like to deal with what are the best odds for you. You guys do need to know this, that there are other divisions in college football other than Division I where you can go play football, have a great experience in college experience, and also have the opportunity to play at the professional level if that is, in fact, your dream. So it's not D1 or bust, but most people feel like that's what it is. Today, let's talk about that. The number 1 question you need to ask yourself if you're going to be pursuing a Division I scholarship is, what's my size? I know this is going to get some pushback with folks that say size isn't everything. Well, it isn't, but it's majorly important in the recruiting game. Size is key. Size is king. Guys will get scholarships just based on their size. Is it fair? No. But as I've said in some of the other videos that you may have watched, size is the way that colleges project what you'll be able to do at their level. Some guys can really dominate at the high school level and have really good careers in the high school level at defensive end at 180 pounds. That's not going to happen in college football. So size does matter. So you need to ask yourself that. What is my size? One of the easiest things for you guys to do in this day and age with all of the things that are available to you on the internet is go on 247 Sports or Rivals.com and go to your position group, whether you're a running back, defensive end, linebacker, whatever it is, and you go look at the top 100 players at your position. Take a look at their height and weight. How much do you measure up to that? Are you close? Are you somewhere in that range? Okay, fine. Then you're in there. You know, it's just all about going out and playing the game and making plays and getting the exposure. But if you find yourself far off from those numbers, then a Division I scholarship is probably not in the books for you and probably not the place for you. And I say that for this reason. You could, in fact, call in all the favors. You could do everything that you need to do. You could beg, borrow, steal, and somehow get yourself into a Division I school with a scholarship. But I guarantee you this, the next year they go out to recruit, they're going to go and try and recruit guys at the size that it is that they want. And those guys will be coming on campus right after you, and they're the ones that you're going to be battling with, and you're going to run into that problem of the coaches really want this guy to play over me. If you've got the mental strength and stability to handle that situation year after year and not lose your mind when someone is put in front of you for no reason other than they are projected to be better than you because of size somewhere down the road, then I say, go ahead, go for it. But ask yourself, do you really have the mental strength to deal with that? You could go to a smaller school, FCS school, which is also Division I, or a Division II or III school, where you will get a stronger opportunity, and they will be, for lack of a better term, happier to have you on campus and work with you more and develop you more and get you to be the player that you're supposed to be, because you're in there, you're getting practice reps, you're playing in games, and you're developing more as a player by the time you're a senior, because you've played and you've spent all that time getting the reps and being a part of the game, playing and just being involved. You're now in a better position to go pursue a professional career if that is in fact something that you want. Now, like I said, you can go force yourself into a Division I school by calling in all the favors and doing everything else that you can to get in there. But if you never play and you never get any serious practice reps, what's going to happen 3, 4, 5 years from now? Are you really a professional football prospect at that point? You haven't played. So you've got to weigh those things. And one of the biggest things to ask yourself is, what is my size? Do I measure up to the guys that the Division I schools are pursuing? Look at that list. Yes, those are the top 100 guys, but I'm telling you, when you look at that list of the height and weights of the players at your position, not only are those guys going to the Power 5 schools, all the Division I schools are pursuing guys with those attributes. We can go on and on about whether or not it's fair or not. That's the reality. So, number one question to ask yourself is, what's my size? The number two thing you're going to need to ask yourself if you are attempting or pursuing a Division I scholarship is, what's my level of competition? We all know where the hotbeds are for recruiting in this country. It's either Florida or Texas or Ohio or Pennsylvania or California. You know where those hotbeds are. Those are the places that the colleges go to first and a lot to go and find their players. If you're not in those areas, now you've got to start seriously asking yourself some questions. What is my level of competition where I am? Without calling out states, because you guys know where you are, we're trying to be honest with each other here. If you're in one of those states that's not a hotbed, how good am I within the state? Am I the best player in the state? Am I within the top 5 or 10 players in the state? Or I'm in the middle of the road in a state where it's not known as a hotbed for recruiting. If you're not one of the top players in one of those places that are not required a hotbed, then you're probably not a Division I football player, at least at this point. So, like I said, under the first factor that I asked, that first question that I said you need to ask yourself, if you're not at the top of your level of competition in your area that's not a hotbed, then maybe you don't want to go and try and force yourself into a Division I school. Perhaps Division II or III is the place that you need to go. The whole trick here is you're trying to play football for as long as possible if you're trying to play professionally. The other thing is you want to have a good college experience. Going and forcing yourself into a place where they're not going to really, let's say, have your best interest in mind or really be all that happy about having you in the program as a football player, then you're really not going to enjoy that experience. It's going to be a whole lot of riding the bench when you still got to get up for the 5 or 6 a.m. workouts and all of the meetings and everything else that comes along, all of the gritty stuff behind the scenes that comes along with being a football player without getting the glory on game day, which is, of course, playing time and being able to make plays and be recognized. Do you really want that? You can go to a Division II, Division III school, continue to develop as a player, be a part of the team, be out there playing on game day, and enjoy it. After all, you enjoy playing football, isn't that right? So why not go where it is that you can play? So the number two question you need to ask yourself is, what is my level of competition in high school, and where do I fit in that? Am I one of the top players in this area that's not a hotbed? If you're in a hotbed and you're in the middle of the pack or you're somewhere near the top, then chances are you're probably a Division I football player. If you're one of the top 10 ranked players in your state, no matter where you're from, then you probably are a Division I football player. But if you're in a so-called state or area that's not a hotbed and you're not considered one of the top players in your area, chances are that you're not a Division I football player, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's all about the fit. So start thinking about Division II and Division III schools where you can go and develop as a player and have an awesome college experience. And then when it's time to go professionally and you graduate, let the chips fall where they may. And finally, the number three question you need to ask yourself if you're pursuing a Division I scholarship is, do I love football? Now that's a question that gets a lot of funny answers, even when you ask it to yourself. But you do have to answer this question truthfully, because it really is going to come down to you. You're the one that's going to go to that school, and you're the one that's going to have to be a part of that football program, and be a part of the program, meaning going through the schedule that is going to be put on you. If you don't love football, and I mean really, really love it, you're going to be in trouble, because your love for the game is going to be tested, especially when you go to a Division I school or a Power 5 school that's in a very, very competitive atmosphere, and the coaches are under pressure every year. That pressure that they feel, they're definitely going to pass on to you. Listen, take some time and learn what a Division I football player's schedule is like on a daily basis. Like I said before, it involves things like 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. workouts. It involves your schedule, your class schedule, being early in the morning, and then by the time the afternoon hits, it's time to quickly grab something to eat, get yourself into meetings, get taped up for practice, long practice, meeting after practice, then tutor sessions, and sometime way late into the night, you get the opportunity to go home and quote unquote be a regular student on campus. It's a very, very rigorous schedule. And if you don't love football, you're going to fall out of love with it really, really fast. And it's going to be very, very daunting for you. And then you're going to have to say to yourself, oh, I don't even like football. And you may lose your scholarship, or you may have to transfer to somewhere else. You've got to ask yourself, do you love football? Do you love going to that weight room? Do you love the off-season conditioning? Do you love studying the game? Do you love all these little things about football? Or do you just like wearing the jersey on game day and you like the attention that you get from your classmates because you're a member of the football team? If you fall into that category, then you're definitely not a Division I football player. It's fun while it lasted. You may not even be a college football player, but you're definitely not a Division I football player if all you really like about football is just the game day atmosphere and the fact that you're on the team and that people give you attention for it. You gotta really, really love the game, because again, it's going to get tested. Your love for the game will get tested if you go to the Division I route, because those coaches are under pressure. There's a lot of competition, and it's gonna rain down on you. And sometimes all you have to get through all of that is going to be your love for the game. So the number 3 thing, and the final question I think you need to ask yourself if you're pursuing a Division I scholarship is, do I love football? You got to be able to answer that question honestly, and then it's about the fit. If you don't particularly love it, but you're still learning, then yeah, it might be the route that you need to go is to the Division II route, Division III route, or maybe the FCS route. But even that can be rough too, because FCS coaches and players really want to be FBS coaches and players, and so they act accordingly. Maybe you need time to develop, but the worst thing you could do for yourself is, as you're growing to love football, go throw yourself into a Division I program, because they could suck the love you have for the game right out of you. And who wants to do that? Okay, again, the trick is to try and play football for as long as you can. And the other trick is finding the perfect fit for you. So you got to put your ego aside. Don't worry about where your friends are going. Where they are now and where you are now is not going to particularly matter 3-4 years from now. It's all about the longevity. So don't go comparing yourself to your classmates and feel like, well, these guys, the guys I played with are going Division I have to go Division I, II, or it's a total bust. It's one of the biggest mistakes guys make in recruiting, is saying to themselves, Division I or bust. You guys got to watch the NFL draft every year. Guys get picked up from Division II. Every now and then they'll pick up guys from Division III, and they'll get guys from everywhere. NFL scouts are paid to go out and comb the entire country and sometimes internationally to find players, and they will get to you and find you if you develop into an NFL style player or professional player. And then outside of that, let's cut the whole NFL thing out of it. You want to enjoy your college football experience, because 10, 15, 20 years from now, you want to be able to look back on what you did in college football and have fond memories of it. You don't want memories of going through all the toils of being a football player and on game day, you just watch the game from the sidelines. You want all of your hard work to pay off in playing time, and you going out there and making plays and enjoying the whole process and the fun of it and the game day atmosphere, knowing that you contributed to your team each and every season. So those are the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself. I hope this video helped you guys out. And if it did, I want you to like the video. Please like the video. And then I also want you to share the video. Again, there are people out here that need this information that don't know enough about it. Share this video with them. They may need to hear these words and change their mind on a few things. So go ahead and share the video. And the final thing I would love from you guys is go ahead and comment. Do you think you're a Division I football player? What other questions might you have? And do you think there are other questions maybe you need to ask yourself when trying to determine whether or not you are a Division I football player? If you do have any questions, feel free to ask them. I would love to answer them for you. But most of all, I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to do that. Hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell. The bell will alert you every time I release a new video about recruiting or training for the game of football. So very important. Hit that bell, subscribe, give it a like, share it, comment, help us out here. This is the Gridiron Studs Show. Chad Wilson. Thanks for watching. Also, hey, one more thing. If you're not on the Gridiron Studs app, love to see you do that right now. I'm going to have a link to download the Gridiron Studs recruiting app in the description on this video. Go ahead and click that if you're a high school football prospect. Go ahead and hit that. Download the app. Go ahead and create a profile. I've got college football coaches from all over the country using it to try and find prospects. And how are they going to find you if you're not on the Gridiron Studs app? You got to do that. So click the link in the description, download the app, and let's get moving forward on your college football recruitment. Thanks for watching.